Welcome to A Lot Going On. Wow, long time since we've done one of these episodes, and the reason is because literally we've had a lot going on. The irony of this show is that we can literally choke it by having so many things moving. But I thought it'd be a good idea today to do an episode because I've literally just got back from London, and to the extent whereby like luggage is all around here where we're recording right now, and I'm having my catch up with Vic. And when we spoke yesterday on the phone, I was like, listen, dude, we should probably just talk about it on the pod, because then we're going to give people the best quality like insights that we can. But firstly, how's things been for the last 3 weeks here?
Things have been pretty good, actually, quite chilled. I can just work from home and not have to come here and work with you, which is good. Means I get a lot more done.
Was Dubai busy?
Dubai's been busy, man. Yeah, like Dubai's crazy. There's a lot of people coming in. Still, like, it's weird, right? Because, traditionally it was like term time, no visitors, particularly like families and stuff like that. And people are just coming whenever they want to come. Like, there's no rules now. Everyone's just coming in.
So people aren't clustering around like holidays. They're just sweeping in and out.
There is obviously more of that. There's definitely more of that. But people are just coming in and out whenever they please.
Yeah.
And I'm getting messages of like people are in town and this, that, and the other. I got a friend coming in during the middle of term time with a family. I'll talk to you about it later, actually.
Did you see his email that I CC'd you on this morning?
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
That'd be good.
That'd be nice. Good to catch up with him. But it's been great, man. Like, it's been busy. There's no slowing down in Dubai.
Really?
There's no slowing down. You go anywhere, it's busy. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'll just quick recap. On Saturday, I went to, I'm going to butcher the name, but En Fuego.
Yeah.
In the Atlantis on the Palm.
Yeah.
Beautiful restaurant, Mexican style restaurant.
Yeah.
Like vibes, bright, colourful.
Is this the new Atlantis?
No, it's in the original Atlantis. Yeah. It's right next to the Wave House. It's in Atlantis proper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it is mad. And they've got like a band and dancers and everything. And it was a birthday party, and our friend had very, very graciously paid for the whole night.
Yeah.
There was about 80 people in attendance.
Wow.
They'd hired out like this specific area of the restaurant. And, our area was busy, obviously. And it was around like 8 o'clock. And I was like, this place is empty. And we left around 9:30 because kids can't be in there after a certain time.
Yeah.
So we left, and the place was rammed. I mean, there was no slowing down at all.
Wow.
There's like a band, there's dancers, there's like fireworks going off, indoor fireworks. It was like really, really mental. Like,
and
really
it's super
good
destination as a venue, right? You've got to, you're basically going to the tip of Dubai.
From Dubai Hills, it took an hour because there was so much traffic in the tunnel. Like, if you don't know the Palm, when you get onto the Palm, it's still another 30 minutes just to get to the end of the Palm.
Yeah.
But it was like there was standstill traffic going up to the Atlantis. And I asked one of the guys there, and he goes, yeah, just the weekend.
Right.
I was like, why though? He goes, it's the new Atlantis. Everyone's going to the old Atlantis, the new Atlantis, all the restaurants. Like, that part of the Palm, which is right at the very, very end.
Yeah.
It's nothing like I've seen before.
The Palm's comeback is insane. Like, when I first started coming here 10 years ago, properly, it was a super hot spot. But then obviously as other parts of Dubai built up, it just kind of like the ratio adjusted. And then as Dubai went up and down in general, it just kind of like lost its magic. But we've said this a couple of times on the pod, like the Palm is just on fire right now. The problem is one wrong turn, and already what can be a long journey on the Palm can like double or triple. Traffic is mad.
It's so busy. The traffic is horrendous.
The Palm is our South Beach.
It's central London traffic.
Really?
Central London traffic.
Wow.
We got to the restaurant. We had to get there for like 7 or whatever. Anyway, so we were passing. There's like this little turn that you do to go over to where February 30 and West Palm Beach.
I know that turn. That's a militant turn.
They've got like cones set up and everything. They've got like proper traffic management, traffic control. There was so much traffic. It's literally, for anyone from London, when you're on the A40 and you do that Finchley Road, Baker Street, and there's always that traffic that you hit. It's like that. Standstill. Madness.
But it was a good vibe though. Nice restaurant.
I will recommend anyone to go. Food was amazing. Vibe was great. Obviously, we were at a private party, so the people were amazing. It was really, really, really good.
Nice.
Really good. Like, really good.
Should we do a yacht party before I leave?
When you leave in 4 weeks?
3.5 weeks it could be. I think we should do something.
Let's do
Maybe
something.
my
Let's
friends,
do
your
it.
friends.
Yeah, we'll do it. My friends, your friends. I think.
Yeah. Oh, we've got venue visits today.
Maybe
Okay.
it'll be in the evening though. The
Okay,
venue
okay,
that we're looking
fine.
at is open in the evening.
Oh, the other guy's not even open. Yeah. Okay, fine. So good. So busy stuff going on this week. So I just got back from London, where it's so crazy. You were saying like Dubai's not stopping. I checked in with everybody almost formally, everybody that I met, and I was like, hey, how's London doing? And everyone's like, yeah, it's not so good. Cost of living crisis. Can't really trust those that are in power. Like, a lot of like lack of trust when it comes to authority and stuff like that. And it was only maybe in the last couple of days that someone asked me like, how are things in Dubai, after giving the same answer? And I was like, do you want the honest truth? And they were like, yeah. I was like, it's pretty amazing, man. Dubai's like heaven. I was like, we can't even pretend that like all the stuff that the UK is going through is the same stuff that we're going through here. But yeah, the UK is like kind of on its arse a little bit. Like I've never seen it so depressed or deflated. And then there's this weird irony to like the king's coronation. Like I was there, right? And it was like, it's the streets. Like you look at like memes now, which I consider that to be like the streets as well, right? Because that's culture expressing itself. And you see like Shabazz says, did you see that?
I haven't seen. No, I haven't seen.
Shabazz says, "Did I'm rich, you're
him.
poor," for the coronation, and he was like, literally, he's like, "Oh, here's me, like literally being rolled around in a cart made of gold, or like lined with gold, while 7 million kids go hungry." God. Like, do you know what I mean? So he was like, there was some people that were really outspoken in terms of it, and then what was super interesting, and this is the one thing that I really wanted to talk about, if nothing else, today. And there's a lot of London talk, which we'll get into. But the one thing that I was super interested in was that a couple of days ago, I went to the KSI Fournier fight. So KSI, the YouTuber, boxer, and music artist.
Turned full-on
media mogul, yeah. We got invited through ABS, which was amazing, and we'll talk about that in a second. And it was... I thought it was incredible that before KSI fought, they had this young singer, this young lady, sing "God Save the King."
Oh,
yeah, in front of 7,000 people from like youth culture, who were not like, some people sang because it's like, okay, it's a thing, but a lot of booing all the way through. Yeah,
but I've not known. Does that happen in boxing normally?
I don't know.
I know it happens in football and all that, but
so America, which obviously like has dictated boxing culture for a while, I think they do have their national anthem.
Yeah, they do, but no, as in they have on the boxing side, but in British boxing, I've never. I don't know.
I'm not a sports guy, as you know, but the there was a little bit of booing on that side, and I think you'd get that anyway in the UK because it is a free speech economy. There's always going to be people that are not down with it, but the actual show itself was like insane.
They had a full card, right? They had like matches beforehand, and
I feel like they had like the lower card might have been like maybe 2 or 3, then the mid card was like 2, one being KSI's brother. I think his name is, I don't want to butcher his name, but it's like, I think it's like Benji or NG.
I can't
or something
remember.
like
I saw
that,
him in a documentary.
And then the main one was KSI and Fournier, and I know very little about KSI other than what the guys talk about and what I've seen on Amazon Prime. What I do remember, as I mentioned to you before, is that I met him at Seoul DXB. Dan Greenpeace introduced me, and Sway, and I was like, oh, he seemed like a nice guy, and we talked, and he told me that he did video game content on YouTube. But then, he came out, and what was really interesting is that his brother, who was fighting before him, I think his name's Denji.
That's right.
Is that right? Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
So he was on before him, and this was really crazy that he won the match.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so what happens is once he wins the match, the entrance that they come out of, they go back to, and then they do a post-match interview, and that post-match interview audio is streamed live in the arena.
Oh.
So everybody can hear it.
That's cool.
Very cool. But that might be something that they do anyway.
Yeah,
because I've never been to.
Do they have the videos on the...
That's the one mistake in the production. They don't have the video.
Got it.
Yeah, so there are cameras on them, I think, but they didn't project it onto the screens, which I feel like is a bit of a missed opportunity. But and actually would be more engaging for the people in the crowd as well. But what was really, really incredible, and this is the reason why I would even go as far as saying that what the team there is doing is quite genius, is that Denji's doing his interview. Then all of a sudden, at the end of the interview, I'm talking about like to the second, like military precision, the lights go out, fully out. You hear a dong, like the Undertaker's coming. The lights are out for a while. I'm videoing. I don't know if I videoed this bit, but you know, just the common man is around me. Do you know what I mean? Like just the regular 23-year-old, 24-year-old man, like, you know, and they start losing their mind. Yo, who is it? Who's coming next? Then this amazing track comes on, and I'm like, oh wow, they've programmed in like a live PA. They've programmed in a rapper to come on, and then it's out for like, I think it was 37 seconds, and then all of a sudden the lights come back up, and there's a full mariachi band inside the ring.
What?
Yeah, and they are facing the Denji, who just won. Yeah. And then they're playing this music, and it's like a fire, like hybrid hip hop Spanish record. And then up comes this, like maybe some sort of Spanish kid who challenges Denji there and then. And he goes, oh yeah, I'm not going to go down like this guy just did. And then he like, you know, like leaves the ring, and then it's just like, they say to him,
so at this stage, Denji's backstage doing the interview, the interview.
So it's 7,000 cap. It's in the round. So the boxing ring is in the middle of the arena. It's the OVO arena. And then there's a walkway, a catwalk.
Yeah.
Right? But here's how I want you to imagine it. The catwalk from the edge of the arena into the middle of the arena where the ring is not coming out of a tunnel like you get with boxing matches. It's coming out in front of a media wall, a digital media wall.
So the
like
media
the
wall
WWE.
is in the stage that is in the arena. You can see the media wall.
No, not a media wall like how you walk into when you walk into a venue like red carpet.
Yeah.
WWE.
Got it. Yeah,
when WWE wrestlers come out,
got it. Yeah.
they come out in an area, right? Like there's
like a stage, little stage.
Yeah, so if you imagine that there's like a clock that says 12 o'clock exactly, where the middle of the clock is where the arms start, is the center of the arena, and the top where the number 12 is,
I know what you mean.
is where they walk in from. So there they've got obviously like, you know, digital walls that can be like manipulated. They can have like different assets, video assets playing on there. And so they challenge him and they say, oh, Denji, will you take the challenge, and that kind of stuff. So no sooner has the match ended, have they started the hype cycle for the next one, right? Which is genius. Then they did the same for KSI. So KSI is no joke, like as a media personality. Like when it was time for him to come out, and it was like, firstly, this guy, Joe Fournier, came out. I don't know what his shtick is, but he's just like a kid from Hounslow, apparently might be a content creator or whatever. And he comes out and they call him like the billionaire or whatever. So he comes out with like mad chicks. They come out first, like the kind of bottle girls you'll see, but good quality. Well, no, not good quality, but like what you'd get, right, in the UK. And they come out and they've got those guns, you know, that spray the money.
Yeah. And
obviously like spraying fake money. And they're coming out. It's kind of a bit like you're watching like a Charlie Sloth like vodka advert, right? And then he comes out, and you can tell he's not about it. Like as soon as he walked out, the person I was with, I was like, yo, this guy's definitely a pussy. Like he's not really about that fight in life. He's in shape and he's ready to box.
But I thought he was an ex-boxer or something. There was some I don't know.
Well, I think the guy that KSI fought. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. He was.
Yeah.
He was nine-time winner. He had a streak of 9 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. He was a boxer. Yeah. So, but he still wasn't like, you know, you can tell when a guy's tough. He wasn't about that.
Well, maybe he just didn't exude the same confidence that others.
He was just camping it up. He was like, you know, he'd go back and he'd like, you know, interact with the girls. And I was just like, this ain't a guy who's coming out to win. He didn't have any trainers with him or nothing. Like, he didn't have any like
coach or
men with him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Not to be like broad, but like he was just with he just came out with a bunch of chicks. It was just kind of whack. And then he goes into the ring. And it's like, and people are booing him, so he's clearly the one that everyone's clowning. What was interesting about this versus the WWE is that the WWE, you've got multiple personalities. Everybody was here to see KSI. There's no joke about it. Like
he's the draw.
He's the top card. He's the draw. Then once they say that KSI is coming out, everybody goes crazy. Like, they are there to see him. This is not sports. Now, you know how WWE, after a while, once it became kind of like pop culture, that it was like scripted, put it that way. People would say, no, they'd come out, Vince McMahon would come out and be like, no, it's sports entertainment. This is the sports entertaining you. So it's not meant to be like, that's the reason why like the people can use steroids and things of that nature, like the wrestlers. And then you've got boxing, which is not entertainment. It's entertainment as a byproduct. It's sports.
Yeah.
So what these guys have created is called Misfits Boxing.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's created by KSI and Mams Taylor, his manager. It's a hybrid between sports entertainment, because it's got the narrative and the characters and the hype cycles, but of course it's boxing. It's I would call it full contact sports entertainment. That would be the way I describe it.
They are born from entertainment, because they're all like YouTubers and
Yeah.
content creators and what have you. So they're born from entertainment. So,
But you know what Abs was telling me the last time they did it? He was saying that they actually had a boxing tag team match.
oh really?
That's how much they're
That's the
extracting from the
entertainment.
WWE format.
Wow.
And I would actually say that I wish you'd seen it. Like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, man, there is, especially at our age, we've seen different versions, but we've never seen it mutate this way.
Yeah.
It's genius entertainment.
Yeah.
And I said, I was with Abs 2 days ago, and I said to him, I was like, yo, I can see you doing this at the O2, 17,000 seats. He was like, we just did it. He goes, the only reason why we didn't do it this time is because, you got to match up dates and schedules and things of that nature. But there was one night where KSI did 2 matches in one day.
Yeah, that was the last match.
That was
fight
O2,
did.
17K.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Madness. I think I was in the UK at that time as well, and I was thinking about going, but something with schedules just didn't work out, and I didn't end up going to it. But Mams Taylor, who we'll speak about in a second, Mams Taylor, literally, if you told me that in 5 years' time he exits this franchise to a Fox Sports or WWE or Viacom or UFC, and it exits for billions of dollars, I'd be like, yep, normal.
Yeah, I'd
Like,
expect that, yeah.
I would. We should call him Vince McMahons.
Yeah.
Like, he's the next one.
Yeah.
Like, he is the next Dana White. And I was talking to some people that follow this franchise, and I was like, Mams, he's just like, he's created something incredible here. And they were like, yeah, to a whole generation of people, he is Vince McMahon.
Yes.
He is
Yeah.
Dana White.
Yeah.
Which to me is incredible, because I go back with Mams a long time. We go back 15 years to the week that I started Love Soul TV. So, as you know, I used to work in Los Angeles for a company called Content Next. And one time at Content Next, my boss at the time, Rafa Ali, said, oh, something, Microsoft, I'm not going to it. And I was like, what is it? He goes, oh, it's just like a hip-hop thing. Do you want the tickets? And I was like, yeah, who's going to be there? And it said like Collie Buddz, David Banner, UGK, before Pimp C died, rest in peace, Common, and a few other people. So me and this, one of the homies that used to work at the company, we drove down there. And that's when I had the camcorder with me. And that's when I made the first Love Soul TV video with Collie Buddz, David Banner, E40, and all these other guys. And that's the day where I met this really interesting guy called OG Muggs. And OG Muggs the next day pulled up at my hotel. OG Muggs told me at the festival, you should meet this guy, Mams Taylor. He's a rapper. He's hot. He's got a new album coming out with Snoop Dogg and Bobby Valentino. And every hot rapper, second half of that first decade of the 2000s, was on that album. And they pull up in a huge Rolls Royce. And it was like, I jumped in the back. It was Mams. We got to talking. And we became friends. And then off the back of that, I was going back to LA a significant amount. Took Friction one of the times. DJ Friction met Mams. Their kind of like movement started. Yeah. Mams started coming to the UK to tour. What was really, really crazy as well, Abs reminded me of this the other day, when Mams came to tour, when Friction was doing shows, because Friction was probably the bigger musical artist of all of us at that time.
100%.
Abs was recording Mams on tape in a show in Leicester, because we all went up to Leicester for Friction and Mams' show.
Yeah.
And Abs was in Leicester for uni.
Yeah.
So they actually go back to not day one, but like
very early.
season
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
And
them days.
you go like Abs is the guy. Like he's a made guy now. There's no two ways about it. When KSI comes out, it's like this hard record comes on. A guy comes out in, I don't want to say a bulletproof vest, but aesthetically it's similar. It's freaking Bugsy Malone.
What?
Yeah. Bugsy comes out, and this is the difference between a guy who comes out with a bunch of chicks and
That guy that comes out with Bugsy Malone.
Yeah. So Bugsy comes out, starts rhyming. KSI walks out. People are losing their mind. Like even me, I'm like, nah, that looks like Bugsy, because Bugsy's there's no one else who looks like him. And I was like, yo, that looks like Bugsy Malone. I was like, that's crazy, but that would make sense because Bugsy's a boxer. So Bugsy comes out, is rhyming. As they walk down to the ring, KSI is getting really, really hype. Sorry for the jolted story if you're listening.
Right.
The next day, the person I was with really liked the record. So I was like, let me go get the record. They dropped the record the night of. And it's a hard record.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's KSI, Bugsy Malone. KSI's got the first verse. It's a good verse. And then Bugsy comes in and just keeps it super Manchester, super gangster. Brilliant record. And they dropped that at the time. Madness. So they go to the ring. KSI has one round. You know, the first round is kind of like it is what it is. Second one, it's a knockout.
Yeah.
If you look at the slow-mo footage, looks
is
like
it
there's
the
an elbow
elbow?
involved.
Yeah.
So you know, I think there's some stuff that needs to get panned out with regards to that. Then afterwards, I texted all the guys when I was there. I texted Mams to say, yo, bro, this is incredible. I'm proud of you. I texted Friction. So Friction was the DJ.
Yeah, so I did the same. I messaged Abs and Friction both.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, Friction, this is incredible. Friction played his new single, which just debuted in LA and London at One Extra. And I took the video footage of the record being played in the arena. And then I rang Abs, and I texted Abs. I said, you know, well done, I'm proud of you. And then I rang Abs. I was like, yo, Abs, we're out. Thank you for the seats. He goes, oh, yo, where are you? Let me just come dap it up. So I said, yeah, no problem. He came over to talk, and security was all over the place, right? These are some bits that I'll bleep out, but like, you know, then we walk all the way down the arena. Abs tells all the security, these two are with me. We go all the way to the back room. And for me, as we walk through, we get to the bottom of the DJ booth. I see Friction. Friction's huge now.
Yeah.
Like, he gives me a massive hug. Behind Friction, you see a guy that literally looks like the cousin of Death, Shizio. Ripped. Like, and then, as always, the nicest guy on the planet.
Shizio's great, yeah.
So I seen him. He gave me a big hug. He was like, yo, how's Vic? I was like, yeah, he's good, man. And then he said, I said, say less.
Of course.
And then I go backstage, and then we're in this tight-ass little corridor. The boxers are in the different rooms. His brother, KSI's brother's in one room. They're doing press. KSI's in another room showering. And Abs is obviously like the guy, so he's moving around. So I was there, and I was with somebody who doesn't obviously hang out in those kind of situations too much. So I was like, okay, let's just hang a little while. I just want to say hello to Mams, and then we'll bounce. Saw Mams. I was like, Mams, crazy. Definitely for a second, he didn't recognize me, obviously, because, looked different. Yeah. Saw me, hugged it up. I was like, yo, this is incredible, dude. Like, well done. He goes, yo, thank you, man. He was like, listen, we gotta hang out. Love you, bro. That's it. Funnily enough, as we left, me, Shizio, Friction, and Mams. Unfortunately, Abs wasn't there because a lot of people were looking for Abs that time, but Abs was handling a lot of stuff. He wasn't there, but the four of us took a picture, which was crazy. Yeah. And then Shizio posted it yesterday. He was just like, there is so much history in this picture. Me and him were texting back and forth. I was like, if you think about the amount of hours, air miles, risks, things that have gone into the relationship there, I think it was really, really crazy. And then what's even better is that when KSI wins, what record do they play? His own records.
Yeah.
He's got he's got records with like tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of plays on Spotify.
Yeah, it's huge.
Which are perfect soundtracks 2 moments at the match. At the boxing match. It's fully integrated. It's
all
genius.
integrated, and I believe it's all planned. Like, I don't think.
No, it is planned. They know that if he wins, you play this record.
No, as in, even when he's making the records, I think he's thinking about these moments. He's got a grand plan, and he's executing on that plan. Now, I don't know whether it's going right or wrong or how much it changes, but there is no doubt in my mind when he's making these records and recording these records, he's like, when I do this, this is how it will play. This is what it'll be.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Shall I tell you why it's going right?
What do you mean?
I can tell you. Said don't know. You said I don't know whether it's going right or wrong. I'll
tell
you why
it's going right. It's definitely going right.
Yeah.
According to how he's planned it. What I mean is, like, is he still on course to a plan that he's had? Has he changed it? That bit I don't know.
I think it might be better. I mean, there's some stuff I'll tell you when the mics are off. The details of all of this. Yeah. But like Jimmy Iovine was in the house.
I know. I saw.
It's mad.
I messaged Abs and I said, I can't remember exactly the words.
You saw Abs did the intro.
But that's the bit that I messaged him about. Obviously, I said congratulations and da. But I was like, that's a mad one. You introducing Jimmy Iovine to Friction. That's I think only like you, me, and maybe those guys will get that. But for us, for me and you, that's a mad one. Yeah, that's so crazy. Because for anyone that doesn't know, like, Abs kind of came up under us. Like, he worked with us for so many years from the age of 16, 17, right? Yeah. I mean, he used to carry our, he
was probably one of the last guys in the music industry today, or entertainment today, that carried vinyl.
Carried our decks, helped us with our speakers.
Carried tape cameras. Shot video of us. He was with us. All the time. Yeah. And to see that moment, and we've known Friction for a very long time as well. Yeah. In his early days, to see that moment, that's phenomenal. And we know how much Friction is a fan of the West Coast. Of Dre. That's his god. Yeah. When it comes to production, so that was a really, really cool moment, man. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. I think that's going to be one of the most important things that any of these guys will have ever created, because Mams has been hot for a long time. Like this for Mams is his second or third time, on top, so to speak. You know what I mean? But to see the way that he's doing it, and his energy was so good as well. He was ultra calm and ultra zen, considering that him and KSI and Abs and all these guys have created this huge thing that he was just so chill. Like, it was unbelievable. He looks great. He's obviously strong as a fucking bull, and it was just a great experience. So huge shout out to Abs for sorting all that out. Amazing to see Friction, amazing to see Shizio, amazing to see Mams. But yeah, man, super vibe. So London is cool. There's definitely good stuff going on. I went to see Shorty Blitz. Yes. How's he doing? We hung out. Yeah, it's good. We were meant to have dinner, but he had to go to Ibiza, so we didn't get a chance to do that on this occasion. I only chose Ibiza over dinner with you. No, he was booked. Yeah, he was booked. He was booked. No, he had a show on Monday night. Yeah. He flew back in on the Tuesday, and he was gonna come to the Gherkin to have drinks with me, Rav, and the rest of the guys. And then he wasn't able to. And then I had coffee with MK, which was really nice, from Kiss 100, legendary DJ. Caught up with Dan Albion, who's got some incredible stuff happening on the streaming side, his streaming technology. Legend. Yeah, it was really good. There's so many great hustlers in London, and I met some new ones. I met some new people that were in new industries, especially in and around getting people back to work. There is mass confusion as to what the new normal is when it comes to hybrid working. How much commercial real estate should you have? How do you handle the tech side of things when it comes to telecommuting, privacy, data, IP, people working for more than one company when they're working from home? It's an infinite game, and I think it's created this whole other industry. Also, when it comes to just go into that for a second. What do you mean, like how they help in businesses? Like, so let's say you're a blue chip organization in London, and you had 200, 300 seats pre-COVID, and people would come to work, they would do their job, and it was fairly formulaic. People have their lunch breaks, people have their Christmas dues, and that's your company. Rinse, repeat, 365 days a year. But post-COVID, there is a bottom-up argument by employees, which is like, look, if we're performing as good as, if not better than before, why do we need to technically come in? Multiply that by the fact that you've got cost of living crisis, increase in homelessness, crime, increasing costs of driving your vehicle into central London.
Travel costs, rental, the whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a real conversation to be had right now about if you hire staff, how much they need to be in. But then if they're at home, what happens with their technology? How much do they need to come into the office? Even forget from a company's point of view, from an individual's point of view, how will their career be affected by not being in the office? You know, a 25-year-old and a 33-year-old might experience pro rata the same amount of progress. But if a 33-year-old decides to get married and wants to work more from home, and a 27-year-old still pumping it in the office, could that 27-year-old overtake that 35-year-old by that point? Could there be like a career lapping?
Just based on like proximity to people and
yeah,
just that kind of that general like serendipity that happens in that environment.
Yeah, and if there's an office that had 300 people in, that now effectively never has more than 100 people in, then how do you optimize that space for the fact that it's not one desk per person and everybody's in? It could be 3 people per desk. How do you handle that? What's the additional that you need, the additional capacity that you need in the office? So that's created a whole set of considerations that the business world, especially commercial world, didn't have to think about before.
I get that, but didn't you say that there's people are helping, like starting business to help businesses?
Yeah, I met a top guy in a company that works for a blue chip organization that his task is only that. His internal role is to handle specifically the new ways of working, not just in terms of like the design of the office, but all of the psychological and behavioral organizational stuff behind it as well.
That's interesting, because then you also got to think about like privacy and tech, like you say, privacy at home, depending on your company as well. How do you do like monthly check-ins, weekly check-ins, daily check-ins, all that stuff? Yeah. Like, and psychologically, I think that's really important as well, because, you know, I from first-hand experience, you know, my wife works from home and it has its challenges because you're not social. Yeah. The only people you socialize with is over Zoom, and then what you do on the weekends or the evenings, and
there's when the employee wants to go to work.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just to your point about Shaylee, your wife, like the energy she has when she comes back from business trips.
Yes.
And she sits with the rest of her peers. It's very different, right? It's like she's hyped. And I think some people would think going to work, taking a flight is a drag. In many cases, it's not. You know, in many cases, you get a lot done.
Yeah, like it's a little booster pack.
Yeah.
Because number one, in that week that you're there or whatever you're doing, or that day that you choose to go in the office, you can actually be way, 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 way more efficient in terms of like meetings and this, that, and the other. But also, it's just, there is a psychological benefit to being around people.
Yeah.
And not just people, but your peers, your colleagues, because your goals and you identify in the same environment, right? You're in the same company, the same challenges, the same kind of good things and bad things and hard things and difficult things. And, you know, it's like, there's something very positive about that. It's like a little battery pack. I think everyone needs that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know, you know, I jokingly said at the beginning of this podcast that, you know, you not being here means I can just work from home. I get a lot more done. Well, actually, yes, but also no, because we then don't have the serendipity of like coming up with ideas and like synthesizing those as well. And there is a thing working together, whether it be, you know, at your place, my place, or a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know, it makes a huge difference. And I think everyone should really think about that as well. It's nice being at home, but it's also not nice being at home, you know?
My productivity on the execution side of the business, like doing editing and things of that nature, effectively was 0.
Yeah.
From a biz dev and research point of view, it went from being low here in Dubai to 100.
Yeah.
It was so interesting how it switched. And I spoke to a few people about it, whose names I'll tell you later on. But I spoke to a few people about it, and I was like, it's so interesting that I can do deep work in Dubai and be on my laptop every day, whole days would go by where I didn't open my laptop in the UK. However, there would be certain days where I'd wake up in the morning, be out the house at 8, and I would literally just take back-to-back meetings until it's time to come home at night. It was mad.
But that's important because that's the type of work, although there was some work that you kind of had to do when you were there.
Yeah.
If you didn't do like the execution side, it actually didn't make a difference to us or the business. But that's the kind of work that you needed to do when you were there.
Yeah.
That like, kind of like CEO work.
Yeah.
That's what we needed you to do anyway. So that's good.
The deal, we'll bleep out the name, but the deal with
yeah.
I was out with Sonal, Jigna, Jaina, and Rohan. And we're at a bagel spot on Tottenham Court Road. And I get a call from me like, yeah, I've just finished up street. I'm in the area. Where are you? I said, I'm on this corner. He goes, that's not too far away. And then I get a phone call. He goes, I'm outside. And I was like, bye, guys. I got to go. So that kind of stuff happens amazingly there. Yeah. Like you can just make it happen, and you can switch from like being in central London in a bagel spot to starting a meeting like 40 seconds later.
I think
doing business.
Yeah, well, see, that's the difference, right? So yes, there's cost of living crisis, there's lack of trust in government and this, that, and the, all of these things, and there's grey, and people are like feeling the pinch, and I really feel for anyone that's going through that anywhere in the world. But the difference is that in London, people are still there. Like people are still hustling, trying to make money, trying to figure out new businesses, trying to figure out opportunities. And what you just said is a very classic example of that. That's a guy that we pitched here in Dubai, and effectively closed in London. Forgive me for the kind of harsh way of like the very direct way of saying it, but that's the kind of way that you can do business in London. It does happen much quicker than it does here. It can take take time here.
I guess it can take. It depends. It depends. Owner managed or like large
even
company.
then, man. Even then, people here have different. We're in such a bubble that it's easy for people to get distracted, for people to kind of let things just kind of slide at a pace.
Yeah,
things happen quick in Dubai, don't get me wrong, but there is a certain pace to Dubai.
Yeah.
There's a certain pace to doing business, and we always talk about it as well. It's like, we can pitch this person, and yes, a few people can like close very, very quickly.
Yeah,
but there are more people that it takes time with. They have other priorities. They've got this. They're thinking about different things. And sometimes it's not always a priority. Now in London, I feel like it's different. You're more likely to close a deal quicker with individuals than you are here. It just takes a lot. There's just a pace to Dubai.
Yeah, I think maybe we might have got. I don't know.
But
we'll see. We probably
say,
need more data. Yeah.
Yeah, probably more data. But what I would say is just anecdotally from my own personal experience, and again, this is like years of selling in Dubai and in London, right?
Yeah.
But what I would say, there's more opportunity in Dubai at the moment. I feel. Now, I've not been to London. I've not done business in London for some time.
Yeah.
So again, I'm speaking kind of vicariously through anyone that I speak to, like yourself and anyone else. But I feel like there's more opportunity to do business in Dubai.
Yeah.
So even if it works at a slower pace, or as I see it as a slower pace, because of there being more opportunity, it just feels better.
Yeah.
But there you got to be a little bit more snipery, like the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
But again, I'm speaking super anecdotally. I've not been there. I went there last year for a little stint.
Yeah.
And it was all no business. So
yeah. It's good. And Amsterdam's popping. I saw Alex and Nick. Had a super good time. Went for King's Day. Amazing. Like really, really good. Alex and them are building a nice little mini agency out there as well, which is cool.
Man. Yeah.
So it's been super good. And now we're back. So to give everybody an update as to where we're at the moment. What's the date today?
16th of May.
16th of May. Got about 4 weeks to pull off My Friends, Your Friends.
Yep.
Maybe an offshoot of My Friends, Your Friends. Information to come up soon on that. More of these podcasts. I think we can probably do this format quite easily.
Yeah, I think so.
In the house.
This is a new style of shooting and format that we're doing.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. But I think there's an opportunity. It's very quick, very easy. We're just got to make a few little tweaks on the framing and stuff.
And also, I think what we're going to do is we might just do a drop-in podcast for the crew. So I'm going to add a few people to the ALGO group. I met Thad Cox.
Oh yeah,
still the greatest. I just love that dude so much. He's
so
smart. Brilliantly
He's so
smart. Yeah.
But you know what? Just a quick thing on Thad. What I love about the way he presents himself. He doesn't present himself like a smart guy in the sense of I'm like really highbrow and stuff. He's just a normal, really like nice, down to earth guy.
Yeah.
But when he speaks, and when he speaks what he's good at,
Yeah.
there's very few people that can match him.
Yeah, it's true. He comes across. So for anybody who's not following this guy, it's Thaducation, THAD, and yeah, you're right. He just comes across like just a regular dude. But when you put a thought into him, and then he gives you the thought back, it just comes back so much better.
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a great dude. So I managed to get a coffee with him. We got like an hour and a half together, and it was just really, really good. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
No. Sorry, I was just.
And then yeah, and London was very, very fast paced, like incredibly fast paced. So much so that when I stepped off the plane yesterday, if from the second I stepped off the plane on the bridge, heading onto the main building of the airport, I was like,
here in Dubai?
Yeah, here in Dubai. I was like, people are walking noticeably at half the speed less.
Yeah, but this is what I mean about the pace.
Yeah.
Like the pace of everything here is different.
Yeah.
Very, very. But London's always been like that.
One more bonus, which is for Ine.
Oh,
so
wow.
I've got separate ones for him. So I want to give a shout out to the whole team at KSI, I guess.
Prime.
Yeah, Prime. Our
Prime is not just KSI, right? It's Logan Paul.
Well, I want to give a shout out specifically to Mams and Abs and,
Yes.
and that whole team and KSI. So we've been gifted this, which I did not think we'd have the pace for. Not the pace, I didn't think I'd have the capacity because I was flying KLM, so it's like lower allowance. But I want to see your thoughts.
What flavor is it?
So this is a flavor. I couldn't tell you actually. I think they originally released it as the KSI flavor.
Yeah. Oh, this is the KSI flavor.
Yeah, which is not available outside the UK.
No,
and
I
it's
know.
a super limited run.
My son keeps going on about it.
Yeah.
There's no banana in it, is there?
No, not all.
I can smell the passion fruit and.
So it's orange and mango.
Oh, is it orange and mango?
Yeah.
Oh, it smells like passion fruit.
So give it a taste. Yeah, I think if I was a young person, I'd drink that.
Yeah, it's not.
I think as an older person, they put you under so much pressure to drink water every day that you're probably more on that. But no, this is a good vibe. And apparently it's like nothing in terms of like calories. I think it's like 25 calories.
Yeah, the whole Prime range is all like.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I've got a son who's obsessed
20
with
calories.
Prime. Yeah, it's not bad.
Nothing.
I've got a son who's obsessed with Prime, and we bought him all the flavors that we can in Dubai.
Is it true that this one's not available in Dubai?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Yeah, it's fine. Like the whole Prime series of drinks is just fine. It's flavored water. But it's low in calories. It's not bad for you. It's not high in sugar and all that kind of stuff. So from that point of view, it's really good. I can see how it's hydrating. It tastes fine.
Yeah.
It tastes absolutely fine. There's fundamentally nothing wrong with the taste. But what I just can't, like, it's amazing what they've done.
Yeah.
And I say it like this. Every single time, my son is 9, every single time I hear him and his friends talk, they talk about Prime.
Really?
It's not the only conversation that they have, but it's always one topic of conversation. I tried this. I got that Prime. I've not had this flavor. This is the one that's missing from my collection because they collect the bottles.
No way.
My friend it's available in Spinneys now. Go and get it. This one, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so phenomenal what
Yeah.
they've done. It's so amazing what they've done, and it's almost like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like overnight. It's like, I know that's not really the case.
I was thinking that. I was like, who must the partner be to the team,
But the
Prime
manufacturing-
team? Because they've got everything locked off.
the manufacturing, the design, the distribution, like it's
The frenzy, the
phenomenal.
hype. I mean, there's only so much hype that KSI and whoever is part, is it Logan Paul?
Logan, yeah.
Yeah, there's
But
only so
these-
much hype they can put behind it
No,
because
but these are
this
two-
execution's amazing.
But they're the two biggest guys on the internet.
yeah.
Like, there's no one. I mean, there are bigger people in terms of numbers, but there's no one bigger in terms of personality and impact and influence for
Yeah.
their demographic of people.
Prime Hydration UK Limited, and I think it might looks like they've also got an office in Amsterdam, or is made there or something. But yeah, unbelievable. A friend of mine had a private tour of West Ham Stadium yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is available there.
Yeah, because I think they sponsor West Ham.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they got this sponsorship deal. Like one of the football clubs, then I assume it's West Ham.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember which one, or maybe it was Arsenal. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they got a sponsorship deal with one of these big Premiership clubs.
Wow.
We spoke about it, I think, on the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a gift from Abs.
Yeah. Well, there's bottles specifically for Ine.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah, and
Abs.
a video message, which I'll share with him
Thanks,
later
Abs.
on. So that's where we're at today. We're gonna try and bust out as many of these podcasts as we can in the next 4 weeks in person, whilst we're together. But to my point, what I was gonna say is that what we'll probably do is just send a link out on the group. And be like, the podcast is recording at this time. Whoever wants to come in, the laptop will be plugged in. You can just jump in.
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just
a
like a drop in.
A little drop in and out.
Yeah.
So we can maybe do like an hour allocated slot, and just whoever can make it can make it.
Yeah, and we'll keep these up, and there's lots of updates coming. I know there's a few people that have fallen off the feed because they've not been getting regular episodes, but we'll work it out. But there is we've not even touched on all the other things that are going on at the moment in terms of like studio recording sessions, how much content we're going to be giving away in the next few weeks. So yeah, if you enjoyed the show, as always, hit subscribe, share it with somebody who would be interested. The shares are really, really important. I know that subscribes and all that definitely help the algorithm, but truth be told, as long as you're sharing it with somebody and you find it valuable, then that would be amazing. And yeah, man, just check in about a week. There'll be another fresh episode.
Yeah.
All right, peace.